So we thought that today would be a really good opportunity to have a conversation about social media, and specifically, we talk about well-being all the time. We talk about doing your rocks. We talk about all this stuff. But one of the things that I think, and mental health is general, and I think that one of the things that we don't talk about enough, I say us, taking full credit for it, but also as a society, is I think that we've made mental health very individualized. It's all about how you deal with things in your capacity all the time. It's what you can do for yourself. And I think whilst that's obviously very, very important, having coping mechanisms and strategies for dealing with your own life, for your own difficulties, your own stresses, your own anxieties, obviously that's super, super important. A thing we neglect to talk about a lot is how fundamentally important something called social health is for our mental health, and how if you like, let's say you're the most quote unquote mentally healthy person there ever, you were doing your runs, you were doing your gyms, you were doing your journaling, but you had no social health, as in like you weren't seeing your friends, weren't connecting with family, you weren't doing that stuff regularly, you would be struggling. And it's a fundamental part we need to understand about our brains is that we are wired for community. We are wired to be in groups of people, and it's such a fundamental part of who we are that it's such an important aspect that we mention in a more fulsome way, which is what we're going to try and go into today.
Yeah, definitely, man. And when we do the 12 rocks, and when I do it with clients, I always say that the 12 rocks help us and support us with our mental, physical, and social well-being, right? They're the three things that we're trying to work on. Um, and social health is always the one that the clients are least able to communicate about in terms of
Mm,
what they think it means, their understanding of it, how to improve it, because it's not something that is widely spoken about.
for sure.
We do just, people do understand physical health. They do understand mental health to some extent, right? And social health's just like, well, we just don't really speak about it. So simple as, right? As you just explained there, man, it's the connections and the relationships we have and the amount of time we spend with those. And it's meaningful connections and relationships. I think it's the key, isn't it? It's meaningful. It's
Yeah.
who are the people in our lives that we feel like we can be ourselves with and we enjoy spending time with, and something as simple as going and having a laugh with your mates, the benefit of that is so big, you know. And I just think, like, talk about Butlins again, but this weekend just seeing my pals, I
Yeah.
live miles away from all of them now, so we don't see each other all that much at all. And these are people you grew up with. All of a sudden you'll move away, you're all doing different things. I think you can always undersell how much of an impact that can have on you. So to see them every now and then and just to have a laugh and just let your head down, it's good, man. And it was,
Mm,
for me this week, really beneficial for my, for how I feel. So,
yeah.
it's really important that you spend time with people you care about, make time, make effort for those wonderful things, man.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Exactly. And I think it's that, and that is the fundamental bit of it is you need to make time and make effort for it. And I think that that is kind of one of the things that social media does. Like I don't want to go into all the pros and cons of social media. Like
yeah,
you as a listener, you will have your own opinions on it. You're probably on it because most people are, but like you're probably listening to this show because you maybe saw a YouTube reel of it or a Instagram, sorry, a YouTube short or an Instagram reel of it. Like we are on social media in a capacity we have to be. I'm not going to go into all the battles of whether or not it's good for society or anything like that. But what social media can do is
shocker, it's probably not.
probably not, um, and especially for younger people, I think especially, and I think one of the reasons why is because it basically activates the same part of your brain that fulfills that it like would be seeking. So there's a part of your brain that basically seeks social interaction, that seeks connection with other people, and what social media does is gives you instant access to a kind of a fleeting fulfillment of that part of your brain, right? So, oh man, I feel a bit lonely. I'm gonna go on social media for a bit, and you see probably your friends' posts, your family's posts, and then now a bunch of random people's stuff that probably makes you laugh and keeps you on the app for a long time. And in that moment, you're getting kind of that dopamine hit. You're getting those hormones released that are like, oh, okay, I feel better now. I feel pretty good in the moment because you're getting that social health fix.
Brain's reward system, in it like hacks
Exactly,
into that, and it's that instantness of it. It is
for
that,
sure.
like, you can feel that
Exactly.
gratification straight away. You don't have to go through all the effort of sorting out meeting your pals, a few of them dropping out,
Yeah,
to try and get that hit in a month's time because you're busy. You can just go on your phone and just bang, bish, bash, wallop, mate. I've got it. I
exactly.
felt that gratification, and I think people, the content people consume, it to oversimplify, is content that makes you laugh sometimes, makes you feel connected. And you watch people, I don't know about other people, but I speak on behalf of myself. I watch things that, like, I listen to podcasts of people that make you feel like you know them and makes you feel like you're involved in their lives, like, and you're not. It's a falsehood. They don't know you, you don't know them, but the way they talk about things is so personal that you feel like you know these people. So
Mm,
you do get that sort of community and connection just from listening to people you like to listen to. So
for sure.
it is a falsehood. Not to say don't do those things, but
Mm.
when you are actively not doing other things, actively not doing plans in the real world because you are getting the gratification from your phone, social media, then that's the thing we want to talk about. That's the problem.
Exactly right. I think it's exactly that. It's the idea that it's so quick and it's so easy. And I think it's always worth mentioning that the people who designed the apps to scroll the way they do, the way you kind of pull it down, are the same people. Like they brought in people from the gambling industry who use slot machines. Like it's designed to addict you and to hold you in that space. And we'll come on to neuroplasticity and why it really changes your brain to be better and better at seeking that stuff out, and worse at long term dealing with like what you were saying about planning and stuff like that. But in the moment, it's like you're exactly right. Seeing a friend, let's say you live in the same city as them, there's a lot of admin and a lot of logistics. Very unlikely, especially, I think it's different when you're like at uni or when you're younger. You can just kind of go, I'll just come around your house and say hello. When you're working full time, when you've got busy lives, like you can't just go and do something spontaneously as easily. You can't just go, hey, do you want to come do this thing right now with me? Maybe you can, and that's great. And that's a very quick, easy way of getting the breaking out of that kind of individualized cycle of it. But plans take time, they take development, they take sorting these things out. And very often, what will happen is you'll make a bunch of plans on a weekend, and then by the time you get to them, it's a Thursday evening, you've had a long day, you don't fancy it anymore. Your brain is like, I could do that, but you know what? I also get like this is subconscious, obviously, at this point. Your brain's be like, I get the same hit from scrolling on my phone than I would from going to the pub with Steve. I'm just gonna I feel a bit unwell, mate. Sorry, I'm not going to make it tonight. And you just sit on the sofa and you scroll on your phone and you do get that quote unquote fulfillment. But as anyone who's experienced that kind of stuff will know, it's fleeting. It's not also not satisfying. I would liken it to there's like kind of having a proper massive fast food meal. Whilst obviously people enjoy that and that's nice. It tastes good. It doesn't fill you up in a way that a good home cooked like family
Nutritional.
meal would, nutritional meal would, exactly. And it's like that. It's like fast food. It goes straight through you, and it doesn't fulfill that social requirement need in your brain nearly as effectively and nearly as powerfully. And to bring neuroplasticity back in, so you can tick that bingo if you're playing bingo for this week's episode, is this idea that you just need to bring the idea that every single day what you are doing, you are practicing. So if you are in this situation, if you are routinely turning down plans to choose to go on your phone and sit on home and watch TV or whatever, and to be honest, it's probably sit on home, watch TV, and go on your phone at the same time. We're probably dual screening.
100%.
You're getting better and better at doing that instead, and your brain is rewiring itself for short-term, quick reward systems when proper fulfilling friendships, obviously, they take time, they take effort, they take love, they take energy, and they take all of that stuff over a long period of time. And that is, you're not going to get the same immediate fix and hit from seeing your friend as you would from social media. And so social media is literally rewiring our brains.